Right, we are here at Woodlands, been doing some yearling video parades, but Andrew Grierson joins me. Firstly, hello mate.
Yeah, hi. How are you, Paul? You good?
Very, very well. We've had an early start today, but we'll just quickly touch on the yearlings. You've got good draft of yearlings again this year. I've been fortunate enough to see the videos of them. Yeah. You must be wrapped with how they're all coming along.
Yeah, look, we've had, they've done really well. We're meant to be having a drought now, and we haven't. We've had rain when we needed it, and the horses are really doing well. It's been a good season for growing a horse, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I've been very lucky. I've been able to see a lot of yearlings this year. It's going to be a very exciting sale for NZB going forward. The main reason I came, well, not the main reason, but one of the reasons when I found out I was coming in to see that the boys were here, to be able to see the king, if you like, Bettors Delight in the flesh. Firstly, thank you for allowing me that today. I was fortunate enough to be able to be in there and watch you guys cover with him, and I'll probably have that footage going up over the top of us now. But what a legacy this horse is going to leave for the breeding industry here in Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, we can see it now. I mean, he's 25 and he's done a super job, still doing a great job on the track, obviously, all around the world. I think he's third on the 2-year-old list in America, which is unheard of for a 25-year-old. And he's very well. His semen's been great. He's got a good attitude. You'll see that in the video. He's certainly, as they say, age is only a number, and he's certainly like that. He hasn't changed in his semen for the last 5 years. But as you know, 25 is 25, and so it's not easy long term. But we haven't seen him have any health issues at all, and we monitor him pretty well.
Just stay with the collection, because some stands, and I've seen thoroughbreds, been to a lot of studs and watched a lot of it happen at various places. They can get sour to it, coming up to 20 years of age. You hear a lot of people saying around that 18, 19, 20 mark it can be. He just walked in today, and there's no editing in this. He just walked in. You guys said, am I ready? And I was like, yeah, I'm ready. And it's just amazing. Just walks in, gets the job done. Have you seen a stallion sort of like him? Like, you've covered a lot of stallions and seen a lot of stallions over the journey. Have you seen anyone like him, just so professional about the job?
Yeah, look, he's always been a great sire in the breeding shed. I think he's had one time this year when he's had 2 jumps to ejaculate. He normally is a 1-jump horse, and he's always been great in the breeding shed like that. He's very professional. It's a bit like everything he does. It's just at another level. Do I know about him? This is the first horse I've ever collected at 25, I tip you. But yeah. So,
well, I mean, and that's testament to him, and that's probably part of his. Do you think that's why? Because of his attitude, and we say about horses will leave a stamp, if you like, in what they do. He leaves this stamp of horses with great attitudes. Do you think that's like his greatest attribute, his attitude?
Look, there's 2 things that stand out for him, for me anyway, is that the horses that he leaves, he leaves great soundness in horses. You see horses, even when they're sometimes injured for whatever reason, they'll come back again. Yeah. And so they just keep on running. And you see some horses which are still going around, which we've sold in New Zealand up to America, that just kept on going, like a bit of a legend and horses like that. And just that's one legacy of him. So he leaves a very sound horse. And the other thing too is that although he's playful and nips and carries on, he's not a nasty horse. He's a very kind horse, really. Every time, if he has a cover that loses a strap or something like that, he's just waiting for you to come and help him. He's not silly about anything. And so I think that's attitude that he leaves are the 2 biggest attributes I can see. Obviously they can run, but those longevity and attitude and are willing to be there.
You're proud of what he's become? It probably sounds silly, but yourself and Charlie, when you were negotiating and trying to get him to Woodlands, I'm sure you would have had dreams of what he might be able to do for you, but it would have far exceeded. So I would imagine you're pretty proud of what he's been able to achieve.
Yeah, look, at the time in the stud when that happened, we'd been standing in the pocket, and he was coming towards the end of the career, and we had to deal always with the American owners, and they weren't the easiest people to deal with. And Charlie said to me that we need to be actually the master of our own destiny. And so I went up and had a series of horses to look at, and he was one of them, and that was the one I wanted to come back with, and the rest is history. Yeah, so it was a change for the whole stud, obviously, and the legacy will carry on. We've got a lot of his mares, as you can see, in the pedigrees. A lot of our pedigrees have done really well, obviously, with him being present, and also the other horses as well. And don't forget American Ideal, who's about 3 years younger than him, who's also done an exceptional job. But it's very hard to use Bettors Delight as a yardstick for any sire, to be honest with you.
Well, he is, because we believe he sired more Group 1 winners than any sire in the world. What do you say, he's over $600 million, I think, in stakes. And if he's not over it, he's definitely around that mark. Like, these are figures that are astronomical in standardbred terms, but this is talking gallopers as well. I mean, he is the benchmark, if you like, for all stallions, if you like, in the racing code.
Yeah, I think that the best shuttle thoroughbred in my time was probably Danehill, and he certainly exceeds him in stakes money by quite a considerable amount. And of course the thoroughbreds will say, that argue that he has a lot more foals, and yes, he does, but they do breed quite large numbers as well in the thoroughbreds, as you know, so it's not that different, but it's certainly he's been exceptional, and I think that's part of that, is that longevity as well, and the number of horses that go out. He doesn't have very many duds in his colts and things like that. I mean, every sire can't leave a horse that wins a race, every horse, but his statistics are very high.
They say that. The flip side of that is they race for astronomically more money than what we do, especially some of these big races, and he's still been able to put with the prize money part of it, so it's just phenomenal. I'm not going to ask you if he comes back or not, but I don't want you to commit to whether he's going to come back or not, but as far as from a veterinary point of view and a person that's been around this horse for such a long period of time, nothing's really changed with him as far as age. It's not catching up with him just yet. No, it hasn't. Look, and we've always said that we'd always let the horse do as the talking to us about him, and we do blood tests on him. He's monitored. He's on an exercise program. He's also a horse that can get over fat if you didn't know what you're doing, because he likes eating, and so he's on a sustained ration, and. Yeah, so we'll just wait and see. Obviously we'll have that conversation again with American owners and just see where we're at with that. And who knows? It's quite possible he couldn't. I've always said that if he had a country to retire in, Auckland would be in our environment where it's not too hot and not too cold. We'd just love to just let him see out his life and. Yep. In our place, because I think that would be the best place for him to live long term when he had finished, and I hope that possibly is a possibility. Who knows? And it is something that you've done before and done with even stallions that haven't even been yours. So right. I think, is it Beach Towel? Is that the? Yeah, Beach Towel. We stood him for 2 years. He was in Australia, and then he'd finished, and we flew him back ourselves, and he stood at the farm and until he finally died at about 22, I think, from memory. And we've got another horse too. I'm trying to think what it is. Another leading sire that stayed with us right at the very start, which died down here. That's buried on the farm as well. Yeah. I got Beach Towels to him, because it's underneath the main building. BG's Bunny. BG's Bunny, of course, yes. So he's the other one as well. Yeah. Mate, I think, personally, thank you, for allowing me this morning to go in there. I would have had some of the semen, how fertile he is and everything like that, but I was rapt. I was hoping to maybe get a photo or two, which I have got, but to actually see him in the flesh, it's pretty cool, and it's great. And a lot of Australians don't get to see that, or haven't been able to see it, so I think it's something good. And hopefully people learn to celebrate him. There's a lot of people out there try to slow him down, says he can't sire as many winners and things like that. I think we need to celebrate this horse and realise exactly what we've got. This industry, I think sometimes we struggle to celebrate our champions, and he is a true champion of our industry, that's for sure. Without a doubt, we've been very privileged to have the opportunity to stand him and be part of his ownership, and that's been great for us. Just quickly on the other boys, you said there before about American Ideal, horse I do see a lot of at Lower Long Farm, standing in conjunction with you guys, just doing an awesome job. Third on the 2-year-old size list last year in Australia. For some reason he flies under this radar. I don't know why. He gets aged winners, he's got sires, he's got mares, he gets 2-year-olds, he gets young fillies. He can do everything American Ideal. Yeah, look, and he's
Sire obviously have copied that Horse of the Year in New Zealand,
got him
and and he's left a few millionaires that are down under, which have been pretty good horses, and he's we love him. He's always a great-natured horse. He's got a very good pedigree. He'll be a good broodmare sire long term. All those things tick the box, and he's still leaving, as you say, winners and being competitive in this part of the world, as also in America as well. He's still up in the top 10 the whole time.
Lather ups. You guys got 2 here in the sale. There's quite a few in Australia going to be hitting the thing. They'll also be hitting the ground this year. Are you excited about that? Some good feedback from a lot of good trainers, that's for sure.
Yeah, look, and he's done a pretty fair job for the pedigrees that he got in North America. So yes, I think, and he's a genuine speed horse, and a lot of people will say down here that's what's lacking in our horses, and and so that's something that we're looking forward to seeing how his offspring go. And he's a very attractive horse, and the yearlings that I've seen and horses I've seen around have been attractive horses, so he's hoping he'll make the job.
What the Hell continues to do a great job leading 3-year-old trotting sire this year. Love Me Too won the Derby, Northern Derby up here. You must be wrapped with the job that he's doing for you. And some of the yearlings that I've been fortunate enough to see at some of the bigger farms too, they're real striking types, great walking horses.
Yeah, look, he's a very nice conformed horse himself, and he leaves a quality yearling, and he's doing it on the track. We can say he can't do any more for us than what he's doing at the moment, and it's very difficult, isn't it, when you look at that whole trotting industry down here. You've almost got more sires than you have mares. I say that jokingly, but there's so many choices out there with frozen and to a lesser extent chilled, and he's fresh down here, which is good, and we're very happy with what he's done so far.
And his sire, Muscle Hill, the job that he's done, like most of the sires that are by him, come down here and they work, and I think that's a great legacy with him. We'll stay with the trotters too, those speeding Spur. A couple of little rumours, a few of them starting to step up to the plate. A few people might be inquiring about him next year. Yeah,
look, he's a horse who, he's the most successful, I've been told, the most successful Southern Hemisphere entire of all time down here in stakes money. He won 9 Group 1s. He won a Group 1 in America when 152 and change, and so he ticks all the boxes, but it's always a bit harder with a colonial bred horse to get him going, and he's been the same, so he's lacked for numbers, but he leaves a really nice type, and we've got a couple of people around who have said, Jesus, these things go right, and so let's wait and see. I think he's going to suffer for numbers, but if he ends out having 1 or 2 nice horses out of a very small crop, all of a sudden people are going to say, hey, I better give him a chance. I mean, he's 9 Group 1 winner. It's not like he couldn't run. He was a great horse.
He's a very shrewd trainer down the South Island. Had a good horse, very, very good horse actually a while ago. He wouldn't tell me, but he quite likes them. He just wouldn't tell me which ones they were, but he's a bit of a rap for him. Down by the seaside, and we'll get to Sweet Lou in a sec, but the younger boys, if you like, on the roster, especially here on the North Island, firstly seaside, I've seen some cracking horses, great walking horses getting ready for this sale this year. He's doing the job with 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds. They're only going to get bigger and better. He's getting bigger numbers starting to come into those ranks as well now.
Yeah, he's got 2 bigger crops coming up.
Yeah.
He lacked for numbers at the start, and he's still done a good job, and he leaves horses that get up and go, and we don't call him Rocky for nothing as a nickname in the stud.
To look at.
He puts real muscle into horses and great back ends, and I think he'll do a really good job here, and obviously that Bettors Sun Beach cross has been so successful down here, and he did a very good job as a racehorse, and he's done a very good job in North America as a sire as well, and he's very comparable to what Captain Treacherous has done at the same time as in his career. So if he goes as well as him, I'll be very happy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then the last, and I'll leave him to last for no real reason other than this conversation could go for a long time. It won't, but Sweet Lou, wrapped to see him here today. He's a majestic looking animal, but what a job he's doing. What a season he had last year in North America especially, but even still down here, with the horses, he's got good open class horses, real good open class horses, right through to 2-year-olds to just get up and run. And he is a game changer. He's fits just about every breed because he's got that great outcross. There's so many ticks to like about Sweet Lou, and then he throws this bloody bling all over him and it makes him even more attractive.
Yeah, look, I mean, we're hoping that he's going to be the horse that carries on, him and Seaside carries on with our stud and where we want to be in the in the stud game, and we've been very pleased with what he's done. And as you say, he's just such a cool horse to work with, and good natured, and he's a horse that had longevity. He raced for his 2-year-old of the year and he was 5-year-old of the year, so he was a horse that just had that soundness that he's hopefully putting into his horses as well, and it looks like he is. So he's doing a great job for us.
He is indeed, and those couple of horses in North America are both been out of rock and roll dance ones, and I think we need to emphasise that a little bit for a few people, because there are quite a few rock and roll dance fillies around and people might not be aware of it, but both Confederate and Cannibal are both out of rock and roll dance mares, and I think that's pretty important for people down here to be aware that there is a cross that works, and it works exceptionally well there in North America.
Yeah, and I think he's got a good horse up there with Rock and Roll Hanover, the sire of that as well. So that sideline seems to have worked well, but we'll see. I mean, he's going to be sort of an outcross with Being by Sweet Lou anyway. So that with those horses, whether one or more come down to this part of the world, who knows? But he's a sire of sires. Possibly.
I could ask that question if they are coming down. I'm not going to ask that. I'm not worried about trying to be the first or the best. Can I just say thank you very much for the commitment from Woodlands Stud for what you guys do with me. I think it's outstanding. You've always been there from the Talking Trotters show with What the Hill, but also just continued sponsorship, and even Hughesy back there, just support. Sometimes I'll ask a question, he always gets back to me. Paul and Mary, all the staff, everyone treats me like family. It doesn't matter if I'm here or there, it doesn't matter. So I must say thank you guys for what you do for me, and I really appreciate it. And I look forward to covering these yearlings a little bit more in depth with the yearling sales coming up.
Yeah, look, it's a pleasure to work with you, Paul. It's been great. So thank you.
Thank you very much, mate.
Okay.